Did I give away my age by referring to the birds and the bees? Do you even know what that is? I was reading an article a couple of days ago. It was an interview with this person. Then they identified themselves as, ready for this, a trans, queer, Latinx, neurodivergent. Now, just to give you the background, this person was born a boy into an Hispanic family and was autistic. You can figure out where they went from there. I had never heard that term, trans queer. And this is right on the heels of that Disney executive that said their child was a pansexual. I didn't know what that was. And I'm like, dang, here I am, the one professor at the University of Billy. How am I going to educate you without understanding these terms? And we're also at the epicenter of the debate over this Florida bill that was passed, basically saying you should not teach sex to kids kindergarten through third grade. And if we don't know what these terms are, how can our kids be taught these things? So I want to help out with that. Now, I owe a deep debt of gratitude to that wonderful scientific magazine, Cosmopolitan. They did an article back last September in 2021 where they told us 45 terms, phrases used to identify all this sex, gender stuff. You know, when I realized there was 45 and I was going through these, it dawned on me to really learn this, we need a table. Sort of like remember in chemistry, you had the periodic table of elements, hydrogen, oxygen, helium, lithium, all that stuff. By the way, side note, when I started learning that, and when were we introduced to that? Was it junior high? I don't know. But when I got into that, that's the day I knew I was not going to be a doctor. Okay? Did not enjoy that. But we need something like that to help us learn all these terms for the sex gender stuff. So I propose a sex gender, periodic table of elements, or change the terms. Now we can't use periodic because that would refer to females. So that's out. Here, I'm going to invent a word myself. Let me bring a new word to the sexual world. Wingdings. Do you remember what wingdings are? Those on your keyboard, all the letters can become symbols. Those are called wingdings. So I suggest that we have a sex gender table of wingdings so that we can keep up with this stuff. And we can add to it as necessary, because I'm even sure that since that article was published, months ago, there's been a lot of stuff added. I mean, we know this whole discussion is very fluid. What a great word, too, a sexual word, because fluids. Okay, that's gross. Here's where I want to end this, on a serious note. This is humorous, I know. How can you not laugh at this stuff? But on a serious note, let me be clear about this. Sex does not need to be taught to the kindergartners. But I would make a suggestion. I'd love to see God taught to kindergartners through third graders. And I'm not talking about Christian Judaism. I'm talking about just the belief in God as the creator of all things, including humans. And then I think the big issue for those who are pushing this agenda, they just want there to be less bullying, more toleration, and I get it. So these kids also need to be taught, not about sexual preferences, but about the fact that every human being, they need to accept them, love them, respect them, because every one of them is a unique creation of God.